Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. I am Hamza Idris. First, our tidbits of the day. President Muhammadu Buhari officially inaugurated several projects in Lagos State, including the Lekki Deep Seaport, Imota Rice Mill, and Bestaf Lubricant at MRS Holdings Company Limited. The Lekki Deep Seaport is a joint venture between the federal government, the Lagos State government, the Tolerance Group, and China Harbour Engineering Company, and is the first of its kind in Nigeria. The Blue Rail Line, on the other hand, which was also inaugurated, is the first rail line built by a state government in Nigeria intended to move passengers within Lagos and reduce traffic in the state.
This magnificent infrastructure has been a combination of very many years of tireless work by a team that have agreed to work together. The team is led by NEPSA first approving that this place should be designated as a free trade zone by your regulator, NEPSA, also by MPA, who also approved the concept of this project, then by the team of financiers led by the Tolerance Group, is a Nigerian Singaporean consortium, and like we've mentioned to you, they've been in the country for several decades. With working with them are the China Harbour from China, who are the leading financial partner onto this project, and of course, Lagos State Government, who sits as also the chair of this project. The operator for this project is one of the biggest in the world, CMA from France. And so, Mr. President, you can see that it's been a total combination of federal government, Lagos State, and the private sector.
The Lekki Port team, together with Lekki Freeport Terminal, a subsidiary of CMA CGM Group, are now working tirelessly to ensure that the port operation commences in the next few months, hopefully before the end of the first quarter this year.
It means that to be able to bring in bigger vessels, more cargo, and therefore the economies of scale will set in, and we believe the cost of doing business in this port will actually be lower than at other ports.
The ministry, we are the landlord of the free zone, so to say, and we are there to iron out issues. I can remember all the issues that arose concerning the community members and their movement to their resettlements. But we thank God today that most of it has been solved. Most of it. We are still solving some, but most of them have been solved.
Still on tidbits, the House of Representatives on Tuesday summoned the Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, and bank operators in the country over worries by the continuous scarcity of new naira notes ahead of the January 31 deadline for the phasing out of the old ones. The decision to summon Emefiele and bank CEOs followed adoption of a motion of urgent public importance moved by Representative Sada Soli, who represents Katsina APC at the plenary on Tuesday. The honorable members had proposed a 6-month extension to stop the collection of all notes and allow the redesigned naira notes to fully come on stream. The House also set up a special committee to interface with CEOs of commercial banks to discuss challenges hindering the smooth takeoff of the new CBN policy.
No way you can get change because the only available currency is the old note of 100 naira, 50 naira, 200 naira, 500 naira. This is one thing. Another thing, we are all aware, even before the insurgency, Northeast is the poor of the poorest of the whole zones in the country. And our poverty was further escalated by Boko Haram insurgents and other related insecurity. And today, we have something that is almost worse than Boko Haram.
from the First Amendment, because of the reasons CBN are adduced to, I would say that rather than 1 year, we'll reduce it to 6 months. That's my First Amendment. Let's move it back to 6 months. That we should gradually phase out in 6 months. Let's not take it to 1 year. The Second Amendment is to add what you've just said. We must meet with the bank MDs today, tomorrow, because of the deadline they've put in. Because of the amendment.
Okay, so you have 2 amendments?
2 amendments.
I'm not being personal. The CBN is a good policy. It's in tandem with global best practices. But world over, the currencies are not forced out of circulation. They are phased out of circulation. In this instance, in my own view, our currencies is being forced out circulation. And it is a known fact. The cashless policy and the currency swap of the new Naira notes have raised a lot of concerns to the growth of our economy. Mr. Speaker, there is need. The bulk Nigerian economy is driven by SME and petty traders. Therefore, there is need for some review of the policy. Sensitization is required. And this sensitization does not only involve CBN.
So we'll set up another committee under the leadership of the House leader to meet with the operators tomorrow and then subsequently with CBN.
That was Speaker Bajabi Amil. Finally, President Muhammadu Buhari has appointed Solomon Arase, a former Inspector General of Police, as the chairman of the Police Service Commission. The appointment is subject to the confirmation of the Senate. If confirmed, Arase will succeed Musliu Smith, a former Inspector General of Police. Smith resigned under serious controversial circumstances last year. When he left, Clara Ogumbi, a retired judge, stepped into the office in acting capacity after the resignation. And that's all we have on Tidbits tonight. Now, following the controversial resignation of former Director of Civil Society of the All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council, Hajia Najatu Muhammad, the Presidential Campaign Council of the party, in a reaction, also accused the ex-director of incompetence. In a statement on Tuesday, the Special Advisor Public Affairs at the Tinubu Media Office, Mahmoud Jega, the APC accused her of being a mob and a troublemaker. And this appears to have become an exchange of allegations between the two parties, as Najatu, in a previous appearance here on Daily Politics, accused the APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu of not having any plans for the North, among many other allegations. Therefore, tonight, we are joined by Deputy Director, Media and Publicity, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Ali Yamali, to tell their own side of the story and perhaps shed more light on the whole saga. Welcome to the program.
Well, good evening, viewers. It's good to be here, Hamza.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
We'll take a break now, after which the program commences proper. Don't go away. Yeah, welcome back. Mr. Ali, welcome to the studio again.
Very much.
You've been fighting.
Have we?
So to speak. Well, before we got there, maybe a word or two on our tidbits. Buhari was in Lagos. What is your take? Some are saying he is commissioning projects financed by others, not by his government. I don't know.
Well, when people say stuff like that, you begin to wonder, where are these people coming from? Lagos is controlled by APC. It's a APC program. Buhari came to office on the platform of the APC. And we had thought the whole idea is to get people interested to invest in places where both sides would be a win-win situation.
Yeah.
So whether the federal government financed the project or some investors actually invested, I think it's a win-win for all of us, for all sides. But then you expect critics to say otherwise. It has been the lot of traducers of the Buhari regime to pick holes in whatever ceiling the government has broken. And the government has been breaking a lot of ceiling to get to where we are now. The commissioning not too long ago, like in the tidbit yesterday, or 2 days ago or thereabout, is a testimony of the remarkable growth under the APC government in the last 7 years.
Okay, we will also have more on this when we get to the program, probably, because one of the allegations by Haji Najat was on non-performance. And the reps, also yesterday said there is the need to extend the, rolling out of the all Naira notes in order to accommodate the disprivileged Nigerians, the unbanked Nigerians and all that. Do you have anything to say on this?
No, of course. I think, you see, people have said the CBN should relax the deadline.
Yes.
And really, I am of the considered opinion that the deadline should be extended.
Is it because you are actually in a campaign committee because you're supposed to spend a lot of money, cash?
Well, no, the thing is, you have to be mindful. It's not even about the election that is around the corner. It's not about that. We're looking at the bigger picture. Some of us old enough who witnessed what happened nearly 40 years ago, in 1984. A lot of people, then even the were still, well, if you like to refer to that period as an analog era, a lot of people were broken by the 2 weeks window, which was not extended. 2 weeks, people were sleeping in the banks. But now,
some died on queue.
People make references to other places, even more developed economies, where it takes years for currency to be swapped or exchanged. Take, for example, the United Kingdom. And the tradition of the UK. The monarch passes away. The picture of the new monarch will be in the currency. That it takes years, 2-3 years at the most. At the least, 3 years, side by side. Then how much more a third world country still developing, where the majority, till this moment, the country is grossly underbanked, underbranched. Some of the branches, if you go to the rural areas, till this moment...
Your governor said only 3 local government
there areas. You are. I was going to make reference
14,
to that. In Borno, the same thing. So it's not even about the election. You have to look at the bigger picture. There are people who, till this moment, they conduct their businesses in cash. But we are yet to get there.
Malali, curiously, 1983, it was during Buhari. Now
1984.
84, yes. It was during Buhari. Now, it is the same Buhari in actually civilian garb. And people are saying whoever takes proposal to him, once he trusts you, just say, go on. Is he not really learning lessons from what happened previously?
Well, they say those who fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it. I think in the words of Francis Fanon, those who are mindless of history are doomed to repeat it. But to be fair to the president also and to the government, the currency, change of currency, I think in a way, if given properly done, except for the timing, it's good for the nation's economy. A lot of people to this moment, and it has to do with this raging insecurity. There is a lot of cash, and then fueling inflation. But if you can control cash flow, cash in the economy, perhaps it can help to bring down first inflation and force to track people. But some people say, because when you have large cash in circulation, as an ordinary economist, pedestrian economist, I'm not much of an economist, but I will tell you this, and I think it's basic economy. When you have so much cash in circulation, then you give room for a lot of other things, apart from hyperinflation, because there will be so much cash chasing few goods. There's also the issue of insecurity in a country like ours now, bedeviled, and indeed it's a subcontinental-wide insecurity now we have. We've had instances of criminals operating cross-border, dealing in cash. But if you can streamline, limit the amount of cash, and then monitor those who, in places like Asia, if you go to China, young people don't even know what it's physical cash.
Yeah, they rely more on the circumstances now.
Yeah, they're totally
different. For instance, when you go to Borno, Yobe, parts of Adamawa, even Sokoto, Katsina, if you go to the, that belt, you see people there are some they don't even have phone. So
exactly.
So they can't even do the cashless transition that we're talking about.
Exactly. The same way people are raising even how effective has been the cashless policy, even in urban centers, because instances of, if you like, failure, where the internet fails for, I think 2 or 3 days ago, one of the networks actually had a grid collapse. For a few hours, the network was completely offline.
Yeah, it was actually a heated argument during our newsroom, review yesterday, because to even understand, to make sense, so that we'll find a middle ground.
Exactly.
Because it's a wonderful policy, as the rep said, and at the same time, actually pushing the poor to and Nigeria's economy defies almost everything you can, because you spoke about economies, but now, because of the paucity of the new notes, cost of goods are also going high.
Exactly, and people already are subjected to a very horrid experience, reminiscent of nearly 40 years ago, 1984. People are spending nights at a time there is this insecurity, heightened insecurity. 39 years ago, it wasn't like Nigeria wasn't this populous. And there wasn't so much pressure in urban centers like we have now. So really, going by this argument, you will say, yes, let's say take a while, a year, gradually, but then you see the Nigerian environment is such that already there are speculations, some people are already faking the new Naira notes.
Yeah, I've seen one.
You see, that is it.
One
so
of
the issue of security
he was
also.
Even 1,000 Naira, he was only able to depreciate it because of the
certain
gold-plated,
certain security features there. So these are questions, and then coupled with the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm in the media, I should know, the CBN has not done a very rigorous public enlightenment.
Okay.
So that also has a lot of effect.
All right.
So I think extending the window to
you
June.
Speak like an economist. Well, finally, some people are saying Police Service Commission to some extent has outlived its usefulness, or even the laws establishing it were actually not properly framed, going by the drama in that agency, if I should use this word, because, Arase has been appointed. Already some issues have started going. Must it be a former IGP? Why? And they keep having issues. Why can't they alter the provisions and bring maybe a retired judge?
Like the acting judge.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What is your take on this?
I think maybe we need to shock the system.
Completely. Because they are just rivals with the police force.
Yeah. We need to shock the system. And I think it has happened just like the president shocked the Nigerian custom by having a retired military officer to head the custom.
Yes.
And look at...
You don't have that acrimony any longer.
Exactly. And then and there might be, but it's not so visible. You understand? But you see, there is always this back and forth between the Service Commission and a sitting IG. And if you like a show of force, people always pull in ranks. And the police force, just like the military, there is this almost always, there is this peer, I don't know, rivalry of sort. So if you want to shock the system now, you get someone like, I think it happened in one African country, I'm trying to remember, was it Kenya? I'm not too sure now. So let me just say, but it happened in one African country. The president of the country decided to shock the police, so he appointed a human rights lawyer to head the police force. And it worked. Things changed. It worked.
Because I wonder that some of the DIGs, AIGs, they are reluctant to go, simply because the IG's tenure has been extended, which is not actually true. It was tenured based on the new, Police Act, he has to be there for 4 years.
For 4 years.
Now they are saying they too should remain. I don't really understand.
Yeah, and sometimes, the situation like that, when they happen at the 11th hour, it gives room for a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
If from the onset, it was made clear that the IG has a tenure position.
Yes, they shouldn't leave room for speculation, even the law and the act and all that.
Exactly, make it very clear. But then when at the 11th hour, then people will get the feeling of being ambushed, because by nature, man is ambitious. When you are deputy general editor, let me give an example. You want to be general editor. It's a logical progress. If you're vice president, you want to be president. So, but then midway, they say, no, there is a law now, which most people were unaware. Yes. And then, of course, acrimony will set in. So I think it's important to state upfront before the 11th hour that, look, this is what the law is all about.
And they are even alleging that he is to help your candidate alongside the IG to actually, you know, how you people have your way during the election.
Yeah, you expect that a lot of people, but then how do you now explain how do you reconcile with the monetary policy? If the IG tenure is extended, notwithstanding the provisions of the law, to help the APC win the election, how do you explain the harsh monetary policy now? You just
that people are not happy.
Yes, that people are not. Is it then meant to frustrate the APC at the polls?
Including the IG issues too.
Exactly.
Very
so,
funny.
but you give people, you know, naturally, that's the interesting about politics.
Thank you very much for your take on our tidbits. Yes. You people, why did you wait until Najatu actually announced that she is no longer interested to be part of you, to now say that you were actually planning to sack her?
Well, she preempted, she got wind of the fact that she was on her way out. And what she did was to run to town, throwing in the towel, because all along she's acted in a very suspicious manner.
How?
Yeah, because first, she's not given the required leadership in the directorate that was created for her.
Civil society. Given her
power of, she's an orator.
Thank you for admitting this.
She's an orator, no doubt about that. She's a mobilizer, you can say that. She has this gift of the gab. You can't take that from Nigeria. And she's dogged when she sets her mind on something. But you see, the thing about the Asuwaju presidency is that it has also exposed a lot of people for what they are, charlatans. People who always play to the gallery. We've seen them. Incidentally, in as much as I have a respect and admiration for her, being elderly, who has been in the vanguard in the past for where we thought her passion for good government. But it turned out that with this latest stunt she pulled, and then the wider...
You are describing it as a stunt?
It's a stunt, and it's a stunt which has clearly backfired because of what she did almost 24 hours later, which confirmed that all along our radar, was not, our suspicion was not misplaced. Because barely 24 hours, she went all along what was suspected that she was actually a move.
When she went to Atiku.
Exactly.
We hosted her yesterday, and I asked her this question, why just 24 hours? And in your letter or statement, you said you are not interested in any political party because they are not ideologically different. Why Atiku? She said she's now Shinkapa Dawaki. Rice and beans.
Yeah.
Meaning for the president, she will go for A, for governor, she will go for B, for this, she will go for C. And that she just made up her mind after perusing the pedigree of almost 4 of the leading candidates. And that was why she now said, okay, the best is to now go to Atiku. And you are now saying that you've been suspecting her. She said it was actually after she took that decision because she can't just sit and look. And that was why she went to Atiku.
Well, you see, this is the problem when you are exposed as a charlatan. You get even confused in your thought process. And then how do you trust the judgment of someone who said, look, I'm through with partisan politics. And then the next moment you've taken sides. And then, like she said, she's going to have a mixed bag, so to say. Here,
the local palace, rice and beans.
The rice and beans,
yes.
local palace. She's going to have something like rice and beans. Now, it's within her
Right.
right. The Constitution gives you the freedom of association. It's her choice, and we respect her choice. People all the time jump ship. People, you expect more to jump ship for or against us. It comes with the territory. When you're in politics, you expect that. And Asiwaju is a politician who anticipates things. He crosses the bridge before he gets there. So he has anticipated there will be people who would jump ship, there will be people who would cross to the other side. But you see, in this particular instance, why we were not surprised, the surprising thing that even she held on to that this long. Because
that was the question I wanted to ask. At what point did you actually start suspecting her?
You see, even among, I don't want to use a very strong
she
word.
used strong statements when she came, and I'm going to say some of them here.
Yes. Well, it's not surprising if she's very outspoken. You must give it to her.
You are too.
Well, so, yeah, but then not the same language. I can't use the diction she uses for a number of reasons. But even given her advanced age, she's like a big sister to me. You'll be surprised. You understand? But the thing is, there are instances we see things differently. And this is one example.
Okay.
If she has an axe to grind, for example, she has an axe to grind with the government of Buhari. But till this moment, I'm not aware she resigned from the police service.
I asked her that question,
Yes.
and but what she was saying was, at initial, she wasn't interested in joining the campaign. You people, I'm referring to the campaign council actually, pushed her, some begged her that her name was on the list and she should just please accept that. She said no. She wanted to see Tinubu first before accepting, because she wants to discuss certain things. So definitely you will see him, because we will release the statement tomorrow. After we release it, we assure you that we will take you to Tinubu. And she accepted. Then she was taken to, I don't know, she said she was in London. Did you people actually took her to London, or she took herself to London?
Well, by her account, she said Asiwaju called her, and she went to see him in London. And she made some wild charges, threw a lot of wild charges, some of them unfounded.
How unfounded?
Because
number one, she said she asked him, what do you have for the North? He said nothing.
And that's why I say very unfounded allegations,
How
very
unfounded?
unfounded charges, because it's either she has a problem, or she's totally not in tune with even the campaign of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because she was busy being a fifth columnist, to know that long before Bola Ahmed Tinubu actually even unveiled his action plan in the latter part of October or November, early November, I'm trying to recall, I think the latter part of, he went to Kaduna to respond to the Arewa Joint Committee. There, he rolled out his plans specifically for Northern Nigeria. And in this plan, there were 6 key pledges he made to the North, which and I'm absolutely certain, positive, that he walked that vision, he walked that talk. He listed out a master plan for Northern Nigeria.
Okay, mention 2 or 3.
Okay.
Because there are many questions.
Yeah, because one, first and foremost, security. Because as of now, the northern region is assailed. In the northwest, we have banditry. As opposed to the northeast.
I thank you for admitting this, because some members of they said it has fizzled out.
No, you see, when you say fizzle, let's say it has been downgraded.
Okay.
The insurgency in the northeast, in the past, it was commonplace to see territories annexed, foreign flags hoisted, and republics declared. We've seen that happen. In the days of the PDP, it was routine. Insurgent elements would just literally
It appeared worse during APC to greater extent, because it escalated from northeast to northwest, north central, southeast, southwest.
You have to make a distinction between insurgency and
sundry crimes, maybe,
and banditry.
Okay.
In the northwest, it's banditry / if you like, bits of terrorism. In the south is a separatist element trying to declare a republic. In the southwest, until recently, it was also another separatist. In the north central, farmer herders clash that transformed into ethnic and communal clashes. In the northeast was an insurgency, people trying to declare another republic in a sovereign state. Now, if you look at it, yes, you will say it would appear that people are looking at the effects, not the causes. And in the last 7 years, what the APC administration has been trying to do is to reverse this rot. And it has succeeded in reversing this rot by first retooling the armed forces, giving them the necessary equipment, the necessary arsenal, and the necessary doctrine to fight an insidious enemy. When you have insurgent elements, like we had in the Northeast, and then after they've been dispersed, downgraded, they now melted, so to say, into the Northwest, became bandits.
So it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah,
I want to, in a quick succession, to mention two others before we go on break, so that the promises Tinubu made for the North before we go, in quick succession.
Yes, that is one. I say one, improve security, improve agriculture, improved, complete the Mambila energy, boost energy.
Or to start it, because
some people say the Mambila project has been merely on paper.
Yeah.
But he said, look, I would do that to complement effort. He's aware that the 19 northern state governments, they are planning 100 megawatts of renewable energy to complement that. Because without energy, elsewhere, the strength, the GDP of a nation is measured by the amount of energy it burns. A country's worth is determined by the amount of energy it generates and burns.
It's all right. Taking this, we'll go on a short break. Viewers will take a short break now, after which the program continues. Don't go away.
Haruna, Bisi, Akman, Unduka, how will I want to do on election day? On election day, I go take my PVC. When I reach where I vote to, I broom I go put my hand for Tinubu. On election day, I go take my PVC. When I reach where I vote to, I broom I go put my hand for Tinubu.
People of Nigeria, make we all come out on election day and vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as president. Make Nigeria for better. Make you put your hand for APC, the party where show broom. Not forget, now broom you go put your hand in. Bam!
On election day, I go take my PVC. When I reach where I vote to, I go put my hand for Tinubu.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Daily Politics on Trust TV. And do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. I have in the studio Ali Amali, Deputy Director Media at the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes, before we went on break, I asked to mention three. You said these are specific promises. There are many, but I don't want us to go into details. But Najatu, when she met Tinubu, she said that she asked this categorical, what do you have for the North? And he said nothing, because he said he was going to step on toes, and it is after he wins that he will now mention what he has for the North. And she wasn't satisfied, and that was why she started doubting his sincerity, because Buhari did the same thing. You people just pushed Buhari in 2015, since in fact 2003, without signing an agreement with him, and that was why he did not perform. I don't want us to go into Buhari. It's about Tinubu. But she said when she returned, she now wrote some of the requirements, what she feels the North will like the president to be, if he wins, to do for the North. And she was blocked. You people blocked her from seeing Tinubu anymore. I asked her who was there. She said, Baba Akande was there. We are going to look for him, to actually hear from him after we hear from you. Why have you people blocked her since she returned?
When you say why people blocked her, I am
from
not
seeing Tinubu.
Yeah, but I'm surprised, because if, according to her, Tinubu could call her and meet him in London, she could have, for example, used that same process to have access to him. I mean, in any case, Tinubu is not so much inaccessible, especially for someone who has this grandiose idea of her importance. Certainly. Now, let me even take that. I mean, she couldn't have been more of a northern patriot than the Arewa Joint Committee that invited
in Kaduna.
Kaduna. And the Arewa Joint Committee is an amalgam of about 4 associations.
Yeah, the Matan Arewa,
Matan
ACF,
Arewa, Northern Elders Forum Arewa, Ahmadu Bello Foundation.
Yes.
So the Sadona Foundation.
Yeah.
And they asked every of the 4 major presidential contenders, what plans do you have for the North? All of them attended except Rabi Musa Konkos.
He gave his reasons.
Who gave his reasons? Some people think they were self-serving. But then he's not the subject of the discourse.
Yes.
So is she more northern than this group? For example. And before then, Tinubu rolled out specific program, which I listed a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then in his action plan, going forward. And in any case, isn't it a little bit perplexing that someone aspiring to lead would not have an action plan for a region that has the largest number of registered voters? I mean...
Are you saying she lied?
Well, I'm not saying... I'm not here to say... I'm giving you the facts as I understand them. What is for the viewers...
the one she presented.
Yeah, it's for the viewers to make the conclusion who, between the facts and between Asuwaju, who even as governor had a rainbow cabinet of people drawn outside Lagos to populate his cabinet, which is in the public domain. People like Akabuozi from the Southeast, he was a commissioner. Even the sitting vice president, we would never, with the greatest respect to the sitting vice president, his talent, his exploit as a legal luminary, Tinubu identified that, brought him from Ogun to be
And she said he will have actually been a better candidate than Tinubu. But I want you to, before you answer this, another question I asked, or she raised, was that even Lagos Chambers of Commerce, they met Tinubu with a document. And to some extent, she actually punctured the approach of those who hosted him here by not presenting a kind of charter so that he signs, so that they will hold him to account. And he said this was what happened with Buhari before.
See, when somebody makes a pledge, he's already signed a charter. I have made a pledge to you, Hamza, that I will honor another invitation if you invite me. Must I sign a charter? I'm just giving you an example.
It depends on the level of trust I have.
Exactly. You see the and then.
But politicians, you can see, they have reneged severally. There are some. In fact, at a time, Jonathan said he never signed any document to not to go for third time in court, even though it wasn't third time, right? It was within his right, considering the circumstances that led to.
But what happened to him when he reneged on that? He got booted out. Nigerians rejected him. This exactly.
So you have this feeling that it will also happen to Tinubu in the event he reneged in delivering the promises he made.
What I'm saying, even his wife said so. The wife of the president.
Yeah,
she said, look, give us the chance. If we fail to deliver, you reject us after 4 years. So in other words, more than anything else, he's better have just said this. So what I'm saying now is, look, these are the pledges he made. And in any case, I'm even skeptical that Buhari underperformed. That is contestable. You understand? Because if you look at, on a scale of 1 to 10, compare, just suppose Buhari 7 years and PDP's 16 years, who has the most of the delivery, given the challenges that actually festered, metamorphosed, and ballooned into a mega.
And this depends on how you look at it. Many people are scoring him below 20%.
Well, you see, you expect that critics, but the people of the Northeast who suffered insurgency for years will not rate him below 20%. And the people now who are benefiting from the third mainland bridge, I mean, the third Niger bridge, they will not score him less than 20%. The people who have benefited from roads infrastructure nationwide, over 10,000 kilometers of roads built under Buhari.
And Tinubu said he will carry on with this, but Naja said that he has dementia. When she met him for over 2 hours, he could not even hold a cup of tea.
You see, that is the thing I find most intriguing between Tinubu. When people, how did she know that? For example,
she sat with him for 2 hours. I
have sat with Tinubu not once, not twice. We've discussed issues regarding the Arewa Joint Committee.
Okay.
And I've not seen anyone suffering from dementia. I've seen a very sharp mind, a mind that distills information, a reservoir of knowledge, a hands-on experience.
You have a personal integrity to protect, Mala.
Absolutely, absolutely.
By your honor, you are saying this?
That by my knowledge of the man.
He doesn't have dementia.
I have not seen a man who suffers dementia. What is dementia? I think when you say dementia, look at it even now.
Okay.
Between the pledges he made before the Arewa Joint Committee, the action plan, and her ignorance, let me use that word,
okay.
of his pledges to the North.
Yeah.
What he promised the North.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, juxtapose that with her new, with what the PDP has done under Atiku's watch as vice president. Under their watch, her new home in the presidency.
New sanctuary.
Her new sanctuary. For 16 years, they wasted $16 billion on power. You see, there are two things here. We've seen this happen under PDP watch, under the vice president, who said in public, admitted that he's passionate about this. When the projects were initiated, they were paid upfront, nothing. Sold up public assets at rock bottom prices. People say to cronies. The Ascon is an example. Ascon was sold literally 10% of its value. We've seen this. So many other national assets disposed under the privatization program, supervised by her, by where she's gone to. Now, just suppose that with something that has not happened, that you are suspected would happen. So really between an alleged dementia. Dementia, what is even dementia?
Well, so many things. It tells many things that you cannot recall, you cannot articulate, you cannot concentrate.
Hamza, you're still young, you are editor of a national paper. How much of the news surveillance alone, and I'm sure news surveillance alone, if you to look at news surveillance, what's going on in Ukraine alone now, is enough to get to a saturation point. That's why you have a foreign affairs editor.
Yeah.
You understand? Who gives you, who distills information relevant to the local consumers.
Yeah.
You have a sports editor.
Yeah.
Then all these brought their reports. You look at the one that would resonate with most people.
Yeah.
When you are president and commander-in-chief, you have lieutenants. And I'm not making excuses whether her charge is valid.
Yeah.
I'm not saying so.
Okay.
I'm saying that, look, when you run a government, you have lieutenants. And if you are overcharged, information overflow.
Yeah.
Chances are it happens to people. That I can admit, yes. But as to what she's saying, I think she's more than the one who is likely to suffer from that, not knowing what had happened in the past.
Okay.
You understand? Being oblivious of what really had happened. I mean, the promises Asiwaju made to the north, his action plan for the northern region.
So you are, if I understand, you are more or less saying she has more dementia than Tinubu.
What I'm saying is that her own recollection of
events
is cloudy.
And that was why she was making the allegations.
Probably. I'm not side with Hajia Naja to understand whether she's, but from her account, it would appear her own recollection of what had happened.
It's like we're taking back to her the allegations.
No, her recollection of what had happened is clearly cloudy. She cannot recall very well. So, you see, nothing wrong, I have said it over and over, for people to jump ship. People all the time, you understand, all the time they jump ship. But then there should be even some level of, well, not neutrality, but some level of decorum when you are docking your ship in your new dockyard. Don't be hasty in throwing wild allegations that cannot be, if subjected to scrutiny.
I'm thinking of taking her to court because I can see you people are also trading.
No, court, no. Why? I mean, why would we do that?
The PDP said that your candidate should actually be stripped of the so-called immunity, even though he doesn't have any, but as candidate, he enjoys something like that to actually face, the judges over alleged involvement in drug dealings and all that. And you also said Atiku should also be stripped of that so-called immunity and face charges because he had, special purpose vehicle which he used to actually siphon money and all that.
You see the PDP in reaction to what we've done in the past, merely resurrected old charges which have long been settled, and then give them the fragrance of something new. These are issues that have been settled. But what we're saying now, the latest charge reported as accounted by a former associate of the PDP candidate, Achimugu, calls for the...
You must ask for equity.
Do they have this feeling about your candidate?
Yeah, well, feeling...
That it was actually not, that the issue was not, adjudicated the way it should. It was not prosecuted judiciously.
By who? Which court of... The candidate appeared before the Court of Conduct Tribunal, and most of the charges they laid against him, they've been settled, thrown out of court. But this latest charge, which the APC campaign spokesperson, Festus Keyamo, has vowed to actually go to extreme length to persecute. He's taken that a step further. He's up the ante. It's fresh, which they are yet to defend that. Did he or didn't he actually register a company?
Allegedly.
Well, from the account of the whistleblower, it's not mere allegations now. He has evidence. His audio is there clearly. It couldn't have been manipulated. It couldn't have been software. He explained. That is enough evidence to proceed forward. And the company in question, for which former governor of Plateau State went to jail for, the Marine Flood account, is in the public space. So what more are the prosecutor authorities waiting for? Go and investigate, do the needful. This is what we're saying.
Meaning we'll continue to see multiple court cases as the election approaches.
You see, we want Nigerians to have a better deal.
Okay.
We want Nigerians to have a better deal. We don't want to have a modern day
slavery?
Well, I don't want to say modern day Alibaba. You know the legend of Alibaba?
Yeah.
And his 40 cronies, allies? You understand? So we don't want to have that. Unfortunately, it's my namesake. Ali is my namesake.
Okay, I will ask you this final question.
Yes.
Because people are saying Tinubu, including Najat, that he will be worse than Buhari in terms of actually surrounding himself with family and most closest friends. Because she said all those who worked for Buhari did not get anything, they were not considered, and that was why he failed. And Tinubu will be worse off when compared, going by the people around him. In less than 1 minute, can you answer this?
Well, then you can see that is her motive for jumping ship,
she said,
which is not grounded in any solid ground. This is her motive for jumping ship. She's afraid that what she thinks is family and friends for Buhari would also be replicated.
But is it family and friends?
No, but this is the thing I'm saying. What I'm saying is that how can she prove even the Buhari regime is family and friends?
She's all those around him.
And let her name names.
Blood relations.
You understand? Okay. Let her name names. And in any case, Asuwaju is a thoroughbred politician. He has governed Lagos. If he had wanted to surround himself with family and friends, Lagos would have been an opportunity. But because of his pan-Nigerian vision, at least at that time, if you like, sub-regional vision. He had people mostly from the southwest, beyond Lagos, to work in his government. We had Aregbesola from Osun. We had, I just give you an example, Lai Mohammed from Kwara State. You understand? We had Yemi Osinbajo from Ogun State, Akabuze from, I think, one of the southeastern states, and so many others. We had people from far north in the state assembly who worked there. You understand?
So you are vouching for him?
No, what I'm saying is a politician. He's a builder. He's a bridge builder.
They said the road system in APC is so terrible that people will just walk, and before you know,
you see,
90% of those who worked in 2015, 2019 are still out there.
The people who are in Buhari's government, his own argument, you know, people have their own different reward system.
All right.
But you expect that Tinubu, but for his vision, a pan-Nigerian vision, look at those who are actually milling around him. Even, for example now, milling around him. Who are those in the forefront for Asuwaju to be president?
You are one of them?
Governors. No, northern governors actually said, look, power must rotate.
Okay, you are one of them. Are you expecting something from what you are doing?
I'm expecting good governance. That's why we're in this. And we think Asuwaju will bring, is the man that would improve on what has been done and usher transparency, good governance, and a vision that which has been done in Lagos can be replicated nationwide.
Thank you very much. We have to stop here.
Thank you very much.
Ali Amali, welcome, and thank you once again
yes.
To the program. And we again thank you for answering most of the questions we raised in respect to the allegations raised by Najatu Mohammed. And we hope that we have balanced the conversation.
Thank you very much.
Yes, viewers, that's a wrap up on today's edition of the program, which we hope you enjoyed, and do well to collect your voters' card so that you vote in the forthcoming election. Bye-bye for now. I am Hamza Idris.